Today, our 17th TLU Salute to Seniors interview is with Paris Foster of Texas Lutheran Men's Indoor and Outdoor Track and Field. Paris, a four-year standout for the Bulldogs, an All-American with TLU, had just an outstanding career in track and field with the Bulldogs. He joins us today. Paris, how have you been doing?
Good. Pretty good. Just been, going through life with different type of life with COVID-19, but good.
We want to talk a little bit about your career, and I want to start by showing you. I'm going to share the screen here, and I'm going to take us through that race from 2019, Texas Lutheran in lane 4, I believe. Here, is that right, Paris?
Yes, sir.
Lane 4, and the Bulldogs are racing in the national championship final, the men's 4x100 meter relay. A year before, it didn't go so well. You guys were DQ'd. I guess let's briefly talk about that. So the year before, well, that was in the preliminary round, right? We were DQ'd, or was that the final?
That was I believe the final, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we made it for finals, and then we made it for finals, and the DQ was in the finals. Yes, sir.
DQ was in the finals. What was that like? I mean, I guess in terms of coming back the next year with that motivation, knowing what had happened the year before.
So, I mean, I guess just to give you like a brief, like how we were feeling after the DQ, we were all pumped up for it. Darren and I, we were both freshmen going to nationals. It was a very surreal moment. And we also had Marquise and Bryce Johnson, and they're both of them as being juniors. We were very hopeful going into the next year, and then I started off the first leg going into Darren, who was second leg, and the unfortunate event of DQing happened, and we were put down by it, of course, as anyone would really, and but we were looking forward to the next. Even though that happened, we were looking forward to the next semester and next season of track, and getting a redemption, I guess you could say.
That's a long time to wait. Did it seem like a long time?
It went, so it goes by pretty quickly, but it is because like you're having fun in track every day, and it's just you enjoy what you do. But it was long, yes, but it also gave us that long time period, I guess you could say, gave us more time to get ready and work out more and run more and get better prepared for the next semester of our sophomore year, going into round 2 of nationals for us.
And the thing with track and field, it's not quite like the Olympics. At least with the NCAA, you get another chance the next year. But the 4x1, there's no room for error, is there? There's no margin of error. You're either you got to get all those handoffs clean. Take me through those handoffs, and what did you always try to focus on when you're getting ready to hand it off to a teammate?
So for me personally, when I'm handing it off, I feel like that's probably for anybody. What I'm about to say is it's the most nerve-wracking moment, because you're doing all these practices to get ready for nationals or whatever, and the handoffs can go in any way, because you could be practicing one way and then something happens during the race and it just completely throw you off. And that's kind of what happened with our DQ our first year, Darren and I's first year, whenever I handed it off to him. So it can go in any way. It can go any way, and it's difficult. It's nerve-wracking rather, but yeah.
Yeah, I lose track of the years. This was the 2018 race we're going to watch here when you finish as the national runner-up. 2017, you were a freshman. That was the first year you had gone to the national meet. So let's take a look at that race. I'll go back to the screen share here. We thank former TLU coach Clay Holland, who has it accessible on his Twitter account here. Here we go. So what's going on here? Let's see. Leading off, that's you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So as I'm going through right here, the biggest thing I try to do is lean into the curve and really just try to use that momentum to push through. And I handed it off to Darren, or not Darren, this is Michael Wong at the time. And that went very cleanly. And the Michael Wong's handing off to Darren, it felt pretty smooth for the most part. From this point of view, I can't really see what was going on when I was there, but Darren was pushing as well through the curve and handing off to Marquise, and Marquise just really pushed through and really got it towards the end. And as you can see, he finished through with second place, so very closely to third. But it was a great race.
Yeah, there was a point there, maybe 75 meters to go. Marquise seemed to be gaining on the leader and was getting close. And again, you talked about your vantage point a little bit, but hard to see from where you were. And what were you thinking as Marquise was going down that stretch?
Yeah, it was a bunch of emotions. We were really pushing. I really thought we had first for like a hot second. And, I couldn't really see when Michael Wong was handing off to Darren, and then Darren kind of like escaped my view because all the people were in the way. But I saw Marquise was kind of like head and head. It looked like we had first for like the very beginning. And then I believe the guy also fell at the third to fourth handoff, and that kind of it was just a bunch of emotions, like people falling. It was us head and head with everybody. It was awesome.
How fun was it to run with those guys? You ran with Michael, you've run with Darren a whole bunch, and you've run with Marquise. But being with those guys and the camaraderie that you guys have as a unit, as a relay team, what is that relationship like?
It's awesome. It's really honestly another family. I believe that track and field in itself is not just a sport, but also it's just a huge family. And when it comes to relay races like this, where you're not only depending upon yourself, you're depending upon others. You really have to have that link, or that I guess you could say link with each other, and making sure that y'all are well off with each other, and that you like love each other, and as not just athletes, but as also brothers. And I believe that's what really put us forward in that race. Just we all enjoyed each other, being in each other's company. We'd always hang out whenever we get the chance to, and that I believe that's what really pushed us through this race, and getting second place, which in itself is awesome.
That relay team finishes as the national runner-up, and you got to see probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, TLU men's track and field runner in Marquise go about his business and do the things that he did. What was it like watching him, and what was it like running with him?
Marquise, he's, as you said, he is one of the greatest people that I've seen that like have ran. And he, from when I talked to him and knew him and hung out with him, he was very like straightforward. He was like, he always put his effort in everything, despite whatever practice he was going through. He was tough mentally. He would, I don't know exactly what he was thinking whenever he was in his races, but he was definitely a competitor. He was phenomenal.
You and Darren Jones, teammates, seniors on this last track and field team. How would you assess where that relay and your time as a hurdler, you're a 100 hurdler as well, 110 hurdler, and your time as a 100-meter specialist, where were you kind of shaping up with those three major things for you? Your hurdle event, your 100-meter dash, and then the 4x1. How are those shaping up this year?
So this year specifically, I had physics, and I'm a physics major. So trying to balance all those things was because I was getting up higher into physics, higher physics classes. And so trying to balance that all out was tough. And so it took me a little longer to really shape myself into those races. We got a new sprinting coach, Coach Scales, and he did a great job with me. He really toned me down for hurdles. specifically with, just going through my motion and going through my technique of going over hurdles. And I was really hopeful this season. Unfortunately, it ended early. And I was really hopeful going to nationals and really trying to get finals for all three of the races. So he helped me over hurdles specifically very well. And then I would also agree to the 100 as well. He really helped me getting out of blocks, and it really showed with indoor times as I got my times that I really liked. And 4x1 kind of, we were starting it. We had one race, and it was the Trinity meet, and it wasn't really like well put together. Not the Trinity meet, but like the 4x1 because we had some replacements, and we just really didn't get a time to shine. I was really hopeful this year with our teammates who we had for the 4x1, but yeah.
How long did it take you, and you might still be going through this, the mental disappointment of your season, your senior season coming to a close?
That was difficult because I love track. I'm sure as everyone else does who's competing at the D3 level. And when that happened, I don't know. I don't know if it's hit me yet fully because we'd just get back from nationals. We would have just gotten back from nationals, and that went through my head a couple days ago. And when they told us that NCAA was suspending the season, it kind of just, I guess you could say fell off, because I just, track and field in itself is just an amazing sport. And to me, it's very important to me. And, we've been working on all these things and hurdles and 4x1, or starting to work on 4x1 in the 100 and technique and everything. And that right there, it takes a while just to hone in. And, it is what it is. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But it did really affect me and myself, and I'm sure as well as all the other seniors. Yeah.
Can you imagine what it was like for Garrett Garza to be at the indoor nationals, getting ready to compete for a national title, and the day before have it canceled?
That's so disappointing. That's
of course, Garrett Garza, we mentioned, shot putter, one of the best shot putters in D3, had a really good chance at being a national champion potentially there. He was the national runner-up in the outdoors a year before. Well, Paris, what's up for you next? You are going to graduate in December, and you talked about you're an applied physics major. That's one of the toughest, if not toughest, majors on the TLU campus. That's a tough road, and we commend you for taking that. But what is it like as a physics major at TLU, and then what's your future once you graduate in December?
So I guess as a physics major, it is tough. It is very tough, as you said, especially balancing out physics and then on top of track, going to meets on the weekends. We've had, I don't know if I was encouraged by this, but excuse me, a lot of the people that were physics majors kind of dropped out of sports to focus on physics, and I really wanted to separate myself from that and try to balance out everything. It was difficult, like I said, with everything that happens with track practice every day, and then lifting, and then the events. It's difficult. It's hard, but you definitely have to talk with your coaches and your professors, and to make sure you get all that balanced out. As of right now, I'm graduating in December, yes, and I had an REU, which is research for undergrads at Coe College, and that was supposed to happen. I was supposed to have already left, but that got canceled, and I wasn't able to do that. So as of right now, that got moved back to next year, and so we had to agree on that. And as of right now, I'm looking for I was trying to apply to a job for the movie theater, the show-in or the drive-in movie theater.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I'm waiting on that. And then I also have a senior, since I'm ending like a semester early, I guess you could say, in terms of physics. I have to really push this semester, and I have to also focus on my senior seminar that's coming in December. So I get like a semester less than what I would normally. So I'm going to be starting that up eventually, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
All right. Well, Paris, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you visiting with us today. We thank you for everything you've done for Texas Lutheran Athletics and Texas Lutheran men's track and field. It's been a joy to watch you compete and race, and we just wish you all the best as you move forward.
Thank you.